Hello, I'm Arynn Kunkel, and I will be talking about A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. A Christmas Carol is a story surrounded by the traditions of the holiday Christmas. This story starts with introducing a man named Scrooge and the horrible event he encountered on Christmas Eve, which was the loss of his close friend Marley. The author gives Scrooge a morose and passionless personality when it comes to the cheerfulness Christmas brings. He was met by his nephew Fred, who gives Scrooge an invitation to his Christmas party. Scrooge declines his offer with a harsh response. Later that day, Scrooge was sitting by the fireplace when all the bells in his house started ringing. The cancellation of all the bells was followed by the noise of chains dragging. This noise continued from the cellar all the way to the door of the room in which Scrooge was sitting. A ghost passed through the door, wrapped in chains. This ghost was Marley. Marley explains that because of the selfish life he lived, he was punished by living as a ghost with chains. Marley wants to prevent Scrooge from living the same way, so he informs Scrooge that he will be met by 3 spirits. Scrooge falls asleep, but then when he awakes, he is met by the first spirit, the ghost of Christmas past. He viewed his past from him as a child in school to his apprenticeship, and then the encounter of witnessing his love, who later left him because of his selfishness with her new husband. He couldn't bear to watch more, so he demanded to be returned to his bed. He was later met with the second ghost, and that was the ghost of Christmas present. This ghost took him to witness the events of the Cratchit family in his nephew's Christmas party. He listens to what they say about him despite his cruel and harsh responses to them in the past. Fred still wishes him a Merry Christmas. Both these encounters touch Scrooge's heart. The last spirit Scrooge is met by is the ghost of Christmas yet to come. This ghost leads him to see his tombstone, where he would soon be buried. Scrooge took these 3 journeys to heart and promised that he would honor Christmas in his heart forever. He also promised that the 3 spirits would strive within him. When the last spirit sent Scrooge back home, he lived up to his promise. The morose and passionless Scrooge we were introduced to in the beginning of the text was now a happy and merry individual. He would no longer be greedy and selfish with his money, and he would celebrate Christmas with joy. We have talked about numerous themes throughout the semester. In this text in particular, redemption is a major theme. While we haven't necessarily talked about this theme throughout the semester with the other texts we have read, this is a very prominent theme in this text, so I just thought I should touch on it. At the beginning of the story, the author portrays Scrooge as a gloomy and insensitive old man. He hates the Christmas holiday due to the loss of his beloved friend and the loneliness he experienced as a child. After the 3 encounters with the spirits, he decides to change the outlook he has on life in the Christmas holiday. He doesn't want to die as a gloomy and heartless old man. By the end of the text, he agreed to enjoy and celebrate Christmas with a positive attitude. One theme that is present in both A Christmas Carol and other texts we have discussed in this class is how actions can impact others around us. We read about this in Antigone with the actions of both Creon and Antigone. We witness at the beginning of A Christmas Carol Fred's attempt to invite Scrooge to his Christmas party. Scrooge declines the invitation harshly, leaving Fred to return home and later celebrate with his family. Scrooge's response, humbug, to Fred's wishing him a Merry Christmas had a negative impact on Fred. He was so sad that Scrooge was so unhappy and mean during the most cheerful time of the year. Scrooge later realizes the impact his mood and responses have on the people surrounding him. When he is exposed to this, he decides to change his ways and create a positive atmosphere during Christmas. The difference between Antigone and the Christmas Carol, though, is that Scrooge had an opportunity to change his ways, whereas Creon and Antigone did not, and we see that because Creon's son and wife both committed suicide as well as Antigone. Throughout the text, the author uncovers the childhood of Scrooge. He experiences tragedy throughout his life, making it a theme of the text. He lived his childhood feeling often forgotten by his own family and lonely. He lived with this feeling up until the point of the encounters with the spirits. The tragedy he experienced was the death of his business partner Marley. Death and tragedy were both prominent themes in the literature we have read this semester, such as The Song of Roland, where we witness numerous deaths of the soldiers, the Saga of the Volsungs, Antigone, and numerous other texts. Although the deaths we have witnessed in other literature are quite different, the theme of tragedy is encountered within this text as well, just in a different aspect. One thing I would like to add, since this whole class has been talking about heroes, is that Scrooge seems to be a hero in this text. Many readers may disagree with that statement because of the past life Scrooge has lived and the way he treats others regarding the Christmas celebration. I think Scrooge is a hero because he hears out what Marley and the three spirits have to say. He hears and sees how his negative outlook and cold, harsh reaction to Christmas affect those around him and decided to change his lifestyle. It is hard for people to admit their wrongdoings, and I find Scrooge's ability to do so as heroic. He also goes out of his way to ensure that those around him are taken care of and know that he is now a happy and joyful old man. One thing that has really resonated with me when reading this text was the author's intentions to create a deeper meaning. This text isn't just about Scrooge turning his life around for the better. It is about life throwing us obstacles and overcoming them. To me, being able to acknowledge that you are not living a positive lifestyle and to turn it around is certainly heroic. In fact, all the literature readings we have focused on this semester have been truly eye-opening. Before this class, I was not familiar with literature. I didn't understand the deeper meaning that most authors intended for the readers to discover. Overall, I really enjoyed reading this text as well as all the other texts in this class, and the lessons included in it. I feel that the lessons will encourage me to continue to grow and overcome obstacles and to live a positive lifestyle. Thank you.